Hey, welcome back to Mojave KY. So glad you joined us today. Hey, so what are we doing in today's video? In today's video, we are taking a Camry, my daughter's Camry, and recharging the AC. Because if it's anything like it's been in California where you live, it's freaking hot. Alright, so let's just start by opening up the hood and finding where we're going to put the gauge for the AC. And it's important, there are two little nubs on the AC line. One is the right one and one is the wrong one. So make sure when you do that you're not looking at the upper one. To be fair, the gauge won't fit on it. So if you get a gauge like I have and you're trying to click it onto the top one and it won't go, it's because if you follow the AC line down just a little bit, there's another little nub there, undo that one and the gauge clicks right on, and that's where you're going. So once you've settled on that, let's go into the car and do what we need to do there to get ready for putting some AC refrigerant in this Camry. Alright, so let's get the gauge ready. Get your gauge out, put the AC coolant and refrigerant and screw that onto the gauge so that the gauge is ready to deliver coolant into the Camry. And then go ahead and get in your car, turn the car on, and then let's lower the AC as low as it'll go. So on the Camry that literally is LO or low. And then go ahead and turn the fans up as high as possible. So on this one, the Camry had just been sitting outside. I didn't drive it around. This is a hybrid Camry, so you won't hear the engine start up. It only uses that obviously when it needs to charge the battery. And it's just sitting there and not moving, so I didn't need to charge the battery for the most part. You'll hear the engine come on and off. If you have the hybrid, you'll know exactly what I mean. So now with the car running and the AC cranking inside the car, let's step back out to the hood. Hopefully you just already left it open. If not, just reopen it and head back to the AC line. And again, remember, not the top one, but the bottom little nub. Go ahead and unscrew the nub on the bottom. And we're going to then take the gauge and we're going to click it on. So the gauge kind of just pulls with your fingers. Kind of think of it like split finger fastball for baseball. And then push it and click it on. You'll hear it click, and then give it a little tug, and you'll know that it's on securely and ready to go. Next piece is go ahead and make sure that there's pressure in the gauge. So have the gauge face towards yourself, and you'll see that you'll be on the spectrum of from yellow, bad, right, or doesn't have enough refrigerant in it, to green, good, to red, which may need it may need to be serviced, or you might have overpressurized the line. On mine, you can see it's actually in the green and it's not cool enough. That doesn't surprise me. So the pressure is good, but there's not enough refrigerant in there. And so you're going to take the gauge. Now you've got it clicked on and you've got good pressure. It's like a little gun, right? So you're going to pull the trigger on the gun there of the gauge, and then you're going to turn it upside down, left and right. And you're kind of shaking the gauge and facing the coolant down the hose, right? So that coolant can go down. And you're also shaking it you'll feel the can get super cold, and it'll start to push that coolant down into the line as the car is running and vacuuming it into that line. So once you've done that for a little bit, go ahead and turn the gauge back towards yourself. See if you've seen a difference in terms of the pressure. You should, as you're putting coolant in it, it should rise up, so you should see more pressure in the line at that point. At that point, you're done. So this super easy job. Go ahead back to the engine bay, unclick the gauge. Remember that you need that little head for the AC line. Go ahead and screw that back on to close the line. You don't have to get it too tight, right? This is just to make sure that it's on there solidly. And then head back into the car and see how the AC is doing for you. So when I first started the AC, it was blowing in the 70s. Now, to be fair, the car was sitting there. It would be colder AC if we were actually just, driving and the engine was running, right? So it'd be more than 70. But again, I didn't do anything, and then we put that back on, and you'll see it's like in the low 50s. And my guess is when you're driving around, it probably gets into the 40s. So that's what we want. Nice cool air in the car for those really hot days of summer like we've been having here. And that is all there is to the job. Go ahead and put your stuff away and enjoy the new cool air in your car. All right, so just a quick update on the savings for the lift. We did get another payment, so we are now above $360. Still have a long way to go, and like I said, we really average on the channel only about $150 every 2 months. So yeah, you don't get rich on YouTube. You do this because it's enjoyable. But that's good news. We're above 360. We need another $1,100 or so, probably $1,200, something like that, before we get there. So I am saving it up. So I'm saving up all the stuff for the channel and getting that lift, and then that will give us the ability to do other kind of videos, as well as the video on the Easy Lift, which is what we're saving up for. And I appreciate you guys watching, especially if you've watched to this point. Then you've really helped the channel earn a few cents here and there. All right, so I know this isn't a mod, but appreciate you guys for watching. It's certainly our channel logo. So keep modding.